Alright, Shalom is real. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash, for allowing me to do another lesson. Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and there's no God beside them. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for being faithful witnesses to the Holy Spirit, and salutations to the elect whom the Lord hath given ears to hear. And I might entitle this one, the Lord has a lot to say about sin. What about you? Or, I may say, we'll see, And, I'm watching the brothers over here in the Vegas camp. Brothers getting down, entitled Prepare Yourselves, we're in that time. And it turned into an open forum, in which at this point they're getting on Esau and speaking on, when this devil does come down having great wrath, we're going to have a lot to say. We're going to have an earful for him. And we can't be afraid to allow that to be something that, that we do. We must understand that this devil is going to eventually come down, create various laws to attempt to shut us up. But even that is orchestrated by Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai for us to say a lot to him. Right? So I want to read this. This is Genesis 4 and 3. When it was time for the harvest, Cain presented some of his crops as a gift to the Lord, and Abel also brought a gift, the best of the firstborn lambs from his flock. The Lord accepted Abel and his gift, but he did not accept Cain and his gift. This made Cain very angry, and he looked dejected. Right? Why are you so angry? The Lord asked Cain. Why do you look so dejected? You will be accepted if you do what is right, but if you refuse to do what is right, then watch out. Sin is crouching at the door, eager to control you, but you must subdue it and be its master. And this was almost like a rhetorical question, because the Lord knew what Cain did, and Cain knew what he did, meaning he understood from that very moment that he wasn't shit. And we bring this word out, and when spiritual powers start to happen and the things that we're saying come to pass, it's going to again reveal that he ain't shit. So he's going to resort to what he knows best in his jealousy. All right, he's going to reveal himself. So it says, you will be accepted if you do what is right. I reread that, verse 8. One day Cain suggested to his brother, let's go out into the fields. And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Afterward, the Lord asked Cain, where's your brother? Where's Abel? I don't know, Cain responded. Am I my brother's guardian? But the Lord said, what have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are cursed and banished from the ground, which has swallowed your brother's blood. Right? So this also shows that the Lord would always fight for the righteous. Right? As it is written, the Lord's ears are open to their cries. And we're crying out because of all the injustice which is commanded of us, like Yahweh said in Psalm 94, who will stand up for me against the evildoers. All right, and that's righteous in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. But let me jump over to Matthew 24 where it says, Matthew 24:7, nation will go to war against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in many parts of the world. So we see all of this happening right now, showing you we're in these times. Whereas Yahweh Shah right now is expounding the events that would befall the end of the world. But all this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. Right? And guess what? All of these things have been spoken prior to by the mouth of the prophets. So when these words come to pass, you shall know for a fact that a prophet was among you. You should know who the Lord is dealing with. All right? And it's going to be confirmed even in the minds of these devils. Right? Remember, every time, it's confirmed who the Lord is dealing with in the minds of these devils, as we just read in Genesis the 4th chapter, which that's Cain, but if you understand the scriptures and reincarnation, you know that he is known as the wicked one, which the wicked one is Esau, Edom. All right, and then we jump over to Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. This devil, he was perplexed, he was angry, he was all of the above when it came to the understanding of who the Lord was dealing with. So when we read about what's going to happen in these last days, right, which Wisdom of Solomon is a part of that, it makes perfect sense why we shall be killed. Right? Because again, all the world is going to see who the Lord is dealing with. All right? It's going to see what we're saying. All right? Because if what we're saying now is making so much of a wave, how much more when it actually happens? When the words become action. It says, then you will be arrested, persecuted, and killed. You will be hated all over the world because you are my followers. And many will turn away. Hey, remember Isaiah 59. Those that turn from evil, wickedness, make themselves a prey. However, it also speaks on how Yahweh Shai stepped in. There was no intercessor, so Yahweh sent Yahweh Shai, as always. And many will turn away from me and betray and hate each other. And many false prophets will appear and will deceive many people. Sin will be rampant everywhere. Salakia. The point was actually verse 9. All right, then you'll be arrested, persecuted, and killed. You will be hated all over the world because you are my followers. All right, and even during the times of the arrest, like it says in let's see, Mark 13. Is it Mark 13? Yeah, Mark 13 and 9. When these things begin to happen, watch out. You will be handed over to the local councils, arrested, right? It says, and beaten in the synagogues. And again, that's not far-fetched. Jake getting their ass beat for less. You will stand trial before governors and kings because you are my followers. But this will be your opportunity to tell them about me. Right? To stand 10 toes. That's why we got to be more grounded now than ever. For the good news, Yahweh Shai, the gospel, must first be preached to all nations. But when you are arrested, right? Why would we be arrested? Because our words, it is found that our words have made an impact in so many terms. And stand trial. Don't worry in advance about what to say. Just say what God tells you at that time. For it is not you who will be speaking, but the Holy Spirit. Right? And I like it. Like, you ever see those movies where, let's say, like a Karate Kid. Everybody know about that. Karate Kid, a real good fighting movie, to where his back up is against the wall. He's in some type of competition where he's hurting, he's getting fucked up, But then, you know, this shows like a montage or playback of all the encouragement that was spoken to him beforehand, right? So now it's all culminating to a powerful punch or a powerful speech, or however, you know, that'll knock out the opponent. And that's, you know, where the Holy Spirit comes in, right? So, you know, that's pretty much it, man. Don't stop speaking against this devil, man. Yahweh Shai, he's going to continue to step in. You know, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to step in, man. All right. Let me finish it off here, actually. Right, because it's about increasing. You know, we know time's going to get worse, so why not increase? Plus, it's required of us to increase. So it says, Proverbs 4:18, the way of righteousness is like the first gleam of dawn, which shines ever brighter until the full light of day. See, so Yahweh Shai is going to keep showing himself more and more, all right, until he actually appears. You know, whereas the day star, you know, when the day appears, it's first a little dim, then it shows up higher and higher to where, you know, the whole earth is brightened by his glory. It warms the earth, it wakes everyone up. That's what Yahweh Shai is going to do on his return. It says, but the way of the wicked is like total darkness, right? So if you are of the wicked, you will have less to say in these times to come, right? Because you're a hireling, and pretty much the demons going to leave you. It says that Isaiah 40, was that 47? They have no idea what they are stumbling over, right? But that's what the mouth of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is, to reveal those traps, reveal those strongholds, or break down those strongholds through the Spirit. Hey, so if that, shalom to the elect.